What is up, guys? I am back, and today I'm going to be telling you all how to make a time lapse in Minecraft. So, the mod I will be using is Camera Studio, okay? And I'll put the link in the description of the Minecraft forum page, and make sure that when you're downloading it a little bit below, I think maybe, or it's above, who even knows anymore. You also need to download something called Camera Studio Dependencies. Very, very important that you do that. If you download both of those, drop them in your mods folder, and I'm not going to get into all that stuff of how you download a mod. Basically, delete meta-inf, and that's it. That's all I'm going to say, because the rest is pretty much self-explanatory. But put that stuff in the mods folder, and you're ready to go. So, let me start out with one thing. Before I knew how to do this stuff, this is like common misconceptions. I thought that you would need 2 computers, or 2 Minecraft premium accounts, and you don't. All you need is this mod and this mod only. So, once you've downloaded the mod, and it's all successful and stuff like that, and you get into your game, you probably want to get into creative mode for like the best, quality and stuff like that. But what you do is you hit O, okay? This opens up the main mod options screen, okay? So first things first, the global options, okay? This is the language and the toggle option screen. So this is if you don't want the option screen to open up with the letter O and you want to change it to some other keybind. That's where you do it here, okay? Cam command. This is just basically all the commands you need. This isn't really necessary for time lapses or anything else. This is necessary for time lapses. For now, we're going to turn it off, but this is where you need the dependencies. Without the dependencies, you would not be able to do the actual time lapse. You'd only be able to make cinematic images, which I'll teach you how to do later. Cam roll. This is like if you want to roll side to side, and this is mainly used for the cinematic images. But if you want to do this, this is how you do it. Roll left. You can make it. I just made it things that I would use, but the default is like, I have no idea. I forgot already. But that's the important stuff. Video record. This is just random stuff. Thing I did notice that is important on here. This is the default. But if you want to make it like a different file format, this is how you do it. I'm just going to keep it at MP4 because that's the default, and usually the default's pretty good. Next, video folders. This is if, like right now, mine's at user/dslayer101 /appdata/roaming blah 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 blah. So if you want to change this, you just do backspace all the way to whatever you want the actual video that you create with the time lapses to go into a specific folder. If you want to just restore the default value, you click that and it'll go back. I'm just going to leave it like this because it's perfectly fine for me. Audio recording, that's just pretty obvious. It's the audio. You don't really need to mess with that. So first we're going to start out with the cinematic movements. What you need to do first, you need to hit P to select a point, okay? Points, select a pathway to point A to point B. So you can make multiple. So we're going to do point 2, point 3, and point 4. So if you want to travel down these points, you need to do something. You need to type in a command. First, I'm going to check something real quick. You have to make sure that the cam third person is off, because right now we're using a different function. So if this is on, it's automatically going to assume that you're trying to make a time lapse. So what you need to type in is /cam start and the time you want it to take. So I'm going to take 20 seconds. When we do that, as you see, it will start moving along a cinematic image. So this is really awesome function if you want to like move around your completed house at the end of the time lapse, or if you're doing a castle, move around the completed castle. Very important, very useful. So I'm just going to go into and cam stop. Those words I just said really make any sense. Before we get into the actual time lapse, this is a very important thing you need to know. You need to do /cam p clear, P for points. And you want to clear all the registered points. If you don't do that, then it's just going to add on to the points you already have, and it's going to completely mess up your entire thing. Next, hit O, go to cam third person and turn this on. You want to have cam third person on, obviously, player's view on, you want to have indirect video record on. Video speed, I suggest using 20x because anything faster than it makes the file very big. I don't really know why you'd want it slower. Maybe, I guess you could. 20x is a bit fast, so if you're making a smaller project to make it look more epic or to stretch the video out longer, I would suggest making it something like 30 or something like that. But we're going to stick with 20 because this is going to be, a smaller thing. I'm actually going to make a time lapse, just a really short one, nothing fancy schmancy. So you want to have the show cameraman frustum on. Basically what this does is it allows you to see the field of view that your person is going to be looking at. It's really cool, and I'll make sure to show you. Next, you want to do fix chunks unloading. You do not want to turn that on because it causes lots of lag. Basically what this does is it makes it to where the chunk that you're looking at stays in, because if you're like, especially if you're in survival and like you need to go and get materials or something like that, if you go and get materials, the chunk that's around the area that's being recorded at that time will be unloaded, and therefore you won't see anything in that part of the video. So that's when you want to put this on. For the sake of this, we're going to leave that off because we're not going to be actually leaving a chunk. So same thing as before, you want to select the field of view. So we're going to be building something right here. You want to do point P, P, and P. Now this allows us to see this entire field of view right here. So what you want to do next is slash cam, and then you want to do start, and then you want to do something like 5 minutes to make it like longer. Because if anything's shorter, it'll be just like super fast, because this is already speeded up. I'm not actually going to show this because it's going to literally lag me out, but I will show the actual time lapse in the end. So I'll be right back with you guys. Hope you enjoy the small, tiny, little, insignificant time lapse. So that was the time lapse. Very quick, very, very easy. Obviously that was a bit fast, and by bit fast I mean extremely fast. So obviously if you wanted to, you could just go through and slow it down to something like 30 or what's the max here? 100. You probably don't want to do that. But 20s, honestly, for big projects, I would think that would be the best. But for something as small as a house, I was just going 30 or 40. But other than that, there's not much to say. I do think this is a really, really good mod. I would definitely suggest using it. Once again, I will put the link to the forum in the description. Make sure to download both the Camera Studio mod itself and Camera Studio dependencies. Very, very important. Just drop both those in the mods folder, and you'll be good to go. So if you found this helpful in any way, make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. Tell me if you thought it was useful. So yeah. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you next episode.